Hello everyone, my name is Hectic and welcome back to another GTA video. And today I'm doing another little guide-ish on the Clubhouse. Yes, this is another business guide. Again, probably the last video I'm going to do before I get my mic, but I might anyways try to do this, try to do all of these business guides before that because I'm finding out that I'm pumping out a lot. Now, the downside of most of these ones is I don't have a lot of footage of me doing any like missions or any of that stuff, which will come in an updated guide video and all of that type of stuff. Hopefully the audio is good. So the Clubhouse can only be accessed if you are a motorcycle club president, and that option only comes if you buy a Clubhouse. So how do we get it is what we need to start off with. Money and services, Maze Bank foreclosures, Clubhouses. Now the location of these sometimes do matter. Yes, I actually switch with the Criminal Enterprises DLC, they buffed the Clubhouse so that way you can gain a little bit more money from this. And if you have the Criminal Enterprises starter pack, I believe you get this one for free. I actually purchased this one down here first off, and then I switched over to this free one. But that was actually good because most of my businesses are within this, and we'll talk about that one. I would actually recommend this one here. Yeah, maybe even this one or that one. Do not get the ones up here near Paleto Bay. Yes, that's gonna suck. You can get some down in the city. You only have about 2 MC businesses, which I forgot to tell you. The MC Clubhouse gives you access to the MC businesses. We're not going to go over every single businesses. I am going to mention some of them in this video, but this is the Clubhouse, not the MC actual like business guide. So most of the time in the cities is probably going to suck and not really worth it unless you're just not going to do it. Yeah. So but these are usually pretty cheap, $400,000. Like this one was like 300,000. There's like a few that are like 200. Like that one's free, and so these are like $200,000. Yes, not very expensive. Yes, to get these, well worth getting these now that the update has come out. Okay, that's the one that I have. I like it. I do recommend that spot this spot, which one, Sandy Shores, because a lot of business locations are going to be in here. Yep. So that's how you get it. Now, what does this Clubhouse do? Once you start as an MC club president, it'll allow you to spawn here. Not MC club president. I know noticed that, but not within. That's not a requirement to spawn here, but to access anything it is. You can come to this computer here, which will give you access to your MC businesses. Sit down. Why are you not? Plastic game, sit down. Goodness me, the animations in this game. Let's turn this camera because that wall, I don't want to get demonetized for the images that you just saw there. Unfortunately, those also come with the Clubhouse. So, whoops. So in your office, this is where, and the only place you can buy MC businesses. You have your document forgeries, your green stuff, your plant, your counterfeit cash factory, your blue stuff lab, yep, and you have your Coca-Cola lab ones. And you can view whichever businesses you own from all of these. I happen to own all 5 of these. I just recently sold stock from everything from almost all of these. This one, I accidentally blew up the plane because I suck at doing that one. And then that one, I forgot what happened with that one. But I failed to sell for both of those too. Because, that's also because you see how that stock bar is up full. That's because I had multiple sell vehicles. I forgot to All right, but you can get all of those type of stuff, and you could select what location that you want for it. Like, for example, you wanted to buy one of these, you can view wherever you have it on the map. Cypress Flats for the Cash Factory, for example, or canals, they're going to cost you about $900 to $1 million, 900,000 to 1 million. I believe the one that I have is like about 800,000 to set up. Paleto Bay one is bad. I get the one that's what is the one that I have? The Grand Sonora Desert one, pretty good. As you see, got lots of money within that one. When you're getting all of these ones are the ones that I own are the best locations to my clubhouse. And if you want them close together, these are the best locations you can get. Grand Sonora Desert for this one, the Mountain Range, Forgeries, Grapeseed, this one, Grand Sonora Desert, and then for this one, Alamosi. Yeah, so you can view what you can do in these when you own all of these is you can view what's your stock value, what is your total. You can't do anything within that, but that's good if you want to check up on all of these. And also, as you saw, this notification comes out. If you do Clubhouse work and stuff, it's double payout for this, I think, for all time. I'm not sure. So what else can you do in that? That's the main business side of this, or what this allows you to do. This is not an MC business thing. This is a MC Clubhouse video. So the main things that you can do making businesses is doing contracts. Yes, these contracts, most of the time, or some of them, you need to have multiple people in your clubhouse or your crew to be able to do these. And quite honestly, as a future of this, that sucks because I really want to do some of these, not these. Most of these contracts suck, and even with the buffed payouts, they buffed the payouts so they pay a little bit more, especially now if you do some of these for the first time, I believe it's double within that. And just last week, I think it's even still this week, but no, because the new update came last week. These were double money. However, some of these still pay low for even that. By the pound is fine. Hit the roof is a difficult one. That's where you go find the oppressor up there and you fight off the enemies. That one's a difficult-ish one for a contract. You don't get paid a whole lot for that one. Most of these will pay you about anywhere $15,000 to about $40,000. Not really worth doing it. They have about 2 or 3 minute cooldown, some of them. Yeah. And I think these ones rotate out I think it's every hour. I think if not every 24 hours real time. The only ones that I recommend doing, there's a few contracts that I recommend doing either because they're easy or they pay out a lot. The one that pays out the most that I like doing is life and death bikes. I will have a video up on this channel of me doing one of these. And that one can earn you $75,000, which for one of these contracts is amazing. Yes. And last week with it being buffed, it was actually like triple payout, but you didn't get triple pay. This one, it only gave you $120,000 at the end. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to go out to a gang member's house, eliminate those, find the death bike in its garage, bring it to a gang meet, eliminate them, destroy, you have to destroy some vehicles to eliminate the gang, but eliminate the gang. And then Martin will call you and ask you, do you want to keep the bike for yourself or bring it back to the clubhouse for some money? Always select bring it back to the clubhouse because that's how you get your $75,000. Yes? And I think Rockstar noticed that was the payout, and I think when it was triple money, that's why it only maxed out at $120,000 because 70. In case you guys don't know, that would be absolutely goated if it was like that. Let's do a quick math. 75,000 times, I think it was triple money, $225,000 for just one contract. Holy crap, that would be goated. But 120,000 is still pretty good. If you don't bring back the death bike, you only get about, I think it's 15 to 30,000. I think it's 15,000. So always make sure that you do that. And most of the time you're in the instinct of hanging up on Martin on that. Whenever he calls you after you've just gone to that meet and destroyed all of these stuff, stay on the phone with it, because answer that call, and then again it'll ask you to accept or decline a call. It'll have both buttons. Always hit accept if you want the most amount of money out of that. And that gets you 30 minutes to do that. I could do that within like 8 minutes. Even when you drive 3 miles sometimes, or 2 miles out to the thing, 3 miles to get to the meet, and then about 3 miles to the clubhouse, it's worth doing for $75,000. It's not horrible. You're on bikes the entire time. Unless if you get an oppressor or something, then you're just goated. But that, speaking of goated, that, for these contracts, that's a goated method to get. For, I think, out of any contract besides like the tuners and all of that stuff, and besides the payphone hits, that's one of the most amount of money you can make. One in the game that's like on a cooldown with, if you know what I mean. Within that, payphone hits give you 85,000, 15. Okay, realistically, they give you $15,000 if you do that. But if you do the bonus, so basically, if you do the contract correctly, the payphone hit correctly, it'll give you $85,000. Life and death bikes gets you $75,000. That's goated, my dudes. I don't know if Rockstar intentionally meant for that particular contract to be paid that much with the buff to the MC contract, but it is making at least that contract in here worth doing. And that's the only one. If you're going to do any MC contracts, that's the only one I recommend. That's the one that I recommend you do. There's a couple that I would recommend, that I could recommend you do, but if you're going to do any of them at all, I recommend doing that one. It doesn't take too much time. Yeah. And you can do it completely solo. Again, with that. That's a goated method. Holy cow, that's great. And last week when it was buffed, it was $120,000. That's good money. Everything else, most of the time, even with these buffs, they don't pay too well. So I can see why we don't do that. By the pound isn't good. The gun running is pretty good. Depending on the location you get, some of them suck. Don't do the safe cracking one. I hate that one unless you have multiple members, because while you're opening the crates, the safe AI is going to spawn and they're going to kill you while you're at that. Yes, I have never done that mission where I've been able to open that crate without AI killing me at all. And I've even did a few things to make sure that the people behind me like that. Don't do that one. The next one I recommend you do is Torched, where usually you go to a rival gang's warehouse and you torch or you Molotov a couple some crates. Yeah, eliminate the gang members. Super easy. One of those. The only time that I failed at one of those was one of the players ended up being there while I was there, and I'm like, why? And that was actually an annoying one, because he was one of those ones that just consistently kills you. Yeah, whenever you just automatically respawn. Yeah, it was super annoying. But that one's good too. That one pays about 20,000, sometimes 40, depending. The payouts usually are random and not consistent. I think the first time that you do this, and with that social club bonus, you will get double. So it can be up to like $60,000. Still okay. By the pound gun running, life and death bikes, and torch are the only ones I would recommend doing. But if you're going to do one of them, do life and death bikes. That's absolutely good. And as you can see here, I've done, how many contracts have I done? I've completed 15 contracts for $319,500. Not too bad. Yep. That's not all that the clubhouse could do pre or post Criminal Enterprises DLC. If you go up and speak to your bartender, you can now do Resupply bar. I'm not going to do it here. It'll give you a resupply mission, which actually kind of sucks a little bit because how far you have to drive. You have to drive, at least for me, every time that I get out, you have to drive about 3 miles to go get a shipment of alcohol in the case, and bring it back to the clubhouse to resupply. And that will give you a passive income method for the clubhouse, which will give you $20,000 every 40, I think every 48 minutes, and you have to resupply um, every 3 hours. I'm not sure it's every 48 minutes because I've seen some inconsistency. So generally, the little amount of money you're gonna get from that is 20,000. The most before you have to take it, and it'll show up in the safe behind your computer back there in the office. The most you can get out of that before you have to take the money, and it'll show up in a little bag right on this desk over here, is $100,000. So it gives you passive income. I believe if I watched a YouTube video on this recently, I believe you don't have to be in game to do that. For that to generate. That's it. I think my memory fails me. I think you do have to, but every 3 hours you have to resupply, otherwise your thing's not going to generate. But even for $20,000 to like $100,000 for getting that, it's pretty good. But to resupply, and the resupply itself, once you bring it back to that, gets you about like $10,000. I had it. I think it was the first time that you do it. I think it gave me like $36,000. But not bad to do for that. But what sucks is that I have to drive 4 miles both ways, and you'll have AI on bikes trying to shoot down the thing, and if your alcohol takes too much damage, you fail the mission. And doing it 4 miles driving back in that it's a van, trying to do it that slow kind of sucks. Yeah. And that's just recipe for disaster. Now you won't have to drive 4 miles every time, or in this case 8 miles, 3 miles there, because randomly where it spawns to go pick up. But I don't like doing it too much, even for the passive income. Within that, I do count it in one of the methods of my daily grind, but I've cut that one a little bit just because of that. That's time consuming, a little bit tedious to do, and you do have to upkeep within that. But it does give the clubhouse a little bit more use and a passive income method, which is not bad. $20,000, a little bit better than the arcade save, not as good as the nightclub business, and a little bit better than the agency safe unless you do all of that. Now, the last thing that this clubhouse feature, actually second to last thing, is, I forgot to talk about the renovations. My bad. Here I am talking about, because one of the features is going to require me to talk about one of those. No, I just went to the Maze Bank. I don't want to do not that foreclosures website. Clubhouses. If you do this, once you purchase it, what things do you get? Don't get any of these. Gun Locker just stores that. You can do a customized loadout. I don't recommend doing that, not for $300,000. You'll automatically spawn here as a method from your interaction menu, so no accommodation required. Custom bike shop, which will cost you $500,000, I believe. Is a really good investment. Not only does it allow you to mod bikes, which you can only hold bikes in here unless you use glitches. You can hold 10 bikes in here. As you can see, I have some Ruffians, a Bagger, and some Vortexes. This right here, you can modify a customer's bike in the bike shop and deliver it to the customer for $50,000. You have to pay $10,000 for modification fees, but that's way better than the auto shop, which you're paying which is anywhere between $10,000 to $35,000, and only getting about like $20 to $30, maybe even $10,000 in return using the auto shop. This one, it's guaranteed $50,000 each, as long as you don't crash it along the way, and nobody agrees to. Here's the thing, guys. If you're griefing somebody trying to deliver a motorcycle to a client for this, and you know that they're doing that, freaking why? That out of all of the things, I don't like griefers in general, but out of that's like the silliest thing that you could do. So technically $60,000 it will show that you got in return, but it's a $50,000 profit. Now this one, you don't have staff to do it for you, which is good and bad, because you can't get that money back passively, but you drive it yourself, so less likely to crash. And you usually have to go about 2 to 3 miles ish with that, reasonable for the amount of money that you're getting. And I like doing that. Also, the custom bike shop allows you to modify your bikes that you want. That's pretty much all the features in here. With that DLC update, the Clubhouse is worth getting for $200,000. Yeah. Now, if you're like just starting out within that, get that. The only thing I recommend doing is that life and death. If you're, let's talk starting out, and you buy a Clubhouse, because I know you get like 1 million, like about 4 million on this. If you start with the Clubhouse, buy one of the business MC businesses, get this one, get the bike shop, and do life and death contracts every now and then. You don't even have to do the bar resupply if you don't want to, and you'll make a lot of money out of that. Yep. So, and also, just in case y'all don't believe me, let me show you how close everything is to my Clubhouse. Yeah. So we're going to Clubhouse. My businesses. You see that red building right in front of me? That's my Blue Stuff Lab. Yep. I have one right here. That's that lab. That's the Cash Factory, which is just down the street. My Coke, which is not that far. That's about 0.7 miles. About 2+ miles. This is where it gets a little bit far, but surprisingly, these are the closest locations, except for one's up in Paleto Bay, which I think is still pretty far. Don't get that one. This one's the Green Stuff. I think that one has the option. I forget if it's that one or the document that has the option in Paleto Bay. So this one's that one. That one's the Alamo Sea one. The Mountain Range, that one's that. And then the document for, all in all, there's the Clubhouse right there. That is pretty dang good. Yeah. Not too bad for all of the businesses. Now, you can have a few down here in the city, but I don't recommend that. Yeah. Plus, you'll get grief most of the time doing that, because when you sell, you have to come back up here usually. But that's also another reason to buy a Clubhouse, or specifically this location. I think the other one was either here or here, which even if you do the same setup, you're closer to one of these. You'll be close to some of your MC businesses. Yeah. So this is not an MC business guide. This is a Clubhouse guide. So there's benefits of that. That's pretty much all I have as far as the Clubhouse goes in GTA Online. Pretty expensive. Now with that update, worth getting. You can make some okay money within that. Yep. Let me know what you think of the Clubhouse down in the comments down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe. Yes, my name is Hectic. I'll see you guys in the next one.